Jumpers USA. Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Let's start it here.
Okay.
This is Car Bros Podcast 1.
This is the beginning.
Do you want to come in with some energy since it's going to be the Car Bros?
Hey!
We're going to have Cruisin' USA.
No, I don't
right.
care. I don't want to be in a...
All right.
This is possibly podcast 1 of 1.
Welcome to the first and last,
Yeah.
Possibly the last.
Given our
the grand finale
pattern.
of the Car Bros.
Okay, so the idea here, what we're trying to do is create something, from my point of view, create something that doesn't take a lot of planning to execute on, because I live 3 hours away, and so in the past when we've made videos, it's like this big thing, let's have it all planned out, and when we finally get together, we have to execute on it really quick. We have 2 days, and then I go home. So these could be an outlet for, one, jokes that would otherwise just die or something, or lose. 2, a way to create more content regularly. So this is very experimental.
Oh,
If
man.
you,
Talk experiment.
it's going to get real weird. If you make it to the end of this thing, you're a special kind of fan. Curious to see who will make it all the way to the end. And I think another part of this is like we don't really know where to go
We don't know ourselves.
to car. Part of this is exploring ourselves, but like we don't really know what to do with Car Bros totally. In order for it to make a lot of money, like in order to make a lot of money on YouTube, you have to sell out, but also just like make a ton of shit often.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We want to make a little bit of really good shit.
Yeah, we want to make a little bit of really good stuff, and that's nothing against YouTube. Well, a lot against YouTube. YouTube is a total piece of shit, and a lot of people are
Oh, we can cuss during it?
leaving. Yeah. But like this is the format that would work on YouTube. It's just like roll up, hit
Lay
record,
down.
lay
Spend
down
an hour
some
and a half
trash.
setting
Show up
mics.
with no plan and just talk into
Show
a camera.
up and minimal editing, upload it a couple times a week and get an audience and then monetize it. So what we've been doing the whole like, man, I don't think we've ever, I guess we've never
Was it
engaged
3.5 years?
3.5 years, 10 videos or whatever.
Yeah.
But the majority of the videos we make are, they probably have, with editing, I'd say 100 man hours, if not more.
Yeah. Especially if you factor in all the time going to Walmart to buy props.
Yeah. Well, and the planning that goes into, huge amount of planning, huge amount of effort that goes into the videos. And they make SEMA, was it SEMA? Is that where we got drunk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
SEMA made like $800. That was a profitable video. Chad made like $12.
Two Starbucks.
Yeah. And so like
Chad paid for that Jamba Juice.
Yeah,
right
Chad bought
there.
this Jamba Juice. Most of our videos don't make any money. So this isn't really it hasn't been about the money, which is fine.
For me, it's about that.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah. I would sell out in a second. I would leave you guys homeless to make money.
I'm just waiting till we get bought out.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Motor Trend.
throw
Anytime you want to
guys
step in.
under the bus as fast as I can. So yeah, we don't really know what to do. I think one thing that we can all agree on is we want it to be fun while we're doing it, and I don't think any of us want to make something that we feel like it sucks. And so we're at this weird situation. So anyways, long story short, this could be an outlet for that. Or honestly, if this is just, the actual audience, our audience is so weird. Like subscriber base is not, that's not a good indicator of audience.
No, especially after final race.
Especially after final race. Depending on
When was the last time we've had a comment in the English language?
they show up.
Yeah.
Here and there.
Yeah. So if you, I mean, most of you probably don't like follow our channel, especially because we're not that active. But Final Race took off maybe 6 months ago. That's the video where we like outrun the train or whatever, the Fast and the Furious thing, and it's getting on average about 80,000 views a day for the last 6 months. It's about like 6 million views or something like that. It was not eligible for monetization because of that song at the
Yes.
end, which I stand by that decision because it was funny.
Well, to be fair, that's a very unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an independent artist.
Niche.
They need the exposure.
Yeah.
They need the the money. Anything that can help.
So that video has made no money and continues to make no money.
Wiz.
We don't
Oh,
get
yeah.
we don't get money. Wiz Khalifa's getting money. But
We are superstars in India, though.
so our subscriber base, the count has jumped like, I don't know, 20% or something just from that video. But those subscribers are purely from that video. They're subscribing to something.
They enjoy the video that has no dialogue. and
Yes.
No dialogue, action. I mean, that video, and it's huge in India. That's where most of the views are coming from. Mostly India and like Iran and like cradle of life
Yeah.
area.
Old country.
And so, and you can kind of see why it's kind of Bollywood style. Like we kind of tapped into that. So whatever. I mean, that's fine that that's a thing. But why I say that is like our subscriber count, like this
I don't
video,
think any Final Race
Yeah.
viewers are watching this.
Yes.
this video.
If they were, they'd be like, "What?" I don't know how to say what in those languages.
Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this video's so far from Final Race.
What?
So if you subscribe to Car Pros for that and you're watching this, that's like, this is
You're in
so-
for a rude awakening.
yeah. And so it's hard to tell how big our audience actually is. I think for this kind of thing, it's probably about
1,000.
500 to 1,000, which is cool.
We love everyone.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. That's what I mean. Like, if we can't monetize it, I'm down to have 500 to 1,000 people that totally get the humor and are just like cracking up. It's like, that's not bad, honestly, if you can make something that is zero compromises to your comedic style, or like 1% compromised or something, and there's people out there who are loving it. I don't know. I'm not super against that.
Find that niche.
So that's what this is. We're probably going to release other stuff that's closer to what we've done in the past. I'd say in the next like month or two. So there's other stuff coming.
We aren't going podcast only.
Yeah, this is just one thing. So don't worry. I'm sure like half the people already have stopped
well,
listening.
we'll see.
It's like the trajectory of views on this is like exponentially decaying. So anyway, so that's what this is. So whether or not we continue to do it, we'll see. But it seems pretty sweet so far.
Yeah.
Talking about whatever. Okay, so we've got a list of things. Do you want to? We have patrons. We have a Patreon, and there's like 20 people who give money every month.
Why would they do?
Yes.
For I don't know what reason, but you guys are great. The 10 of you
The
that
wind
are out
beneath
there,
us.
Yeah.
The flutter.
the wind beneath our sails, for sure. But Mike made a post asking for questions.
Yeah, and
I guess.
we have 4.
Let's take. That's cool. Dang.
4.
I'm happy about that.
That's not bad for 12 hours.
Let's take a question, and then I also came up with a list of topics.
Do we
and
want to
can
put the?
fall back on those?
Do we want to put it on the TV?
No,
No.
these are secret.
Oh, okay.
There's some very sensitive things on that screen.
These
you
are
do
tr-
not want to
These
see.
are trade secrets.
I meant the Patreon questions.
Oh, and
Uh,
all right.
just read one out. You pick one. Pick one.
Pick
and
your
we'll talk about
favorite.
it, and then we'll go on. So-
Okay. This is from Ole
Talking to the mic. Yeah.
Yetterval. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but it says, "Hey guys, do you milk or shake? You know what I'm talking about." Do we?
I don't quite understand the question.
And it says, "Best regards, Ole Johannes from Oslo, Norway.
All right.
I have been to Oslo, Norway.
Really?
It's a great place. Yeah. Big fan of the Norwegians.
So did you milk or shake there?
I'm Googling milk or shake.
We'll get down to the bottom of
That's
It
the
says
one-
right here, you know what I'm talking about, in parentheses.
Do we?
I don't know.
Milk or shake?
The only thing I'm picturing is when you're going to the restroom, like number one, do you milk or shake?
Okay.
That's the one you picked.
I don't know.
No,
Though.
I thought we were reading all of them. There's only 4.
Okay,
Yeah, we
all
can
right,
go all of
for
them,
it.
but
I'm, just,
Yeah,
I'm
let's do
going.
it all.
I'm going.
Are we
in
all
order.
right? Are we
Going
skipping?
in hot. Milk or shake? Sorry, dude. You don't know what that means. I'm a milkman. I'm just gonna
Oh,
pick
I
one.
shake. I
All
shake.
right.
Anyways, thanks for the.
Yeah,
question.
thanks for that.
Okay, and this is from
Into the
is
mic.
from
Yeah.
Carl. It's kind of hard to read this huge thing.
Whatever. Close enough.
It's from Carl Bernstein.
My boy.
How did you each get into cars? Do you think car cultures are too sensitive for something like Car Bros? What are the sources for inspiration for the videos? And could you describe the creative process?
Damn.
That's an in-depth.
That's too much. Moving on.
Let's go back to the milk or shake one.
No, that's really good.
So do we want to go around?
Sure.
All right.
Whatever. Who wants to start? I started when I was, I think, 16. We're all from Fresno, and Fresno's it's a Central California city, and it's really sprawled out, just urban sprawl. And so it's like you need a car to get around. It's not, you're not biking anywhere. If someone's on a bike, it's like, oh, that guy's got a DUI. That's not.
In 105 degrees.
Yeah, it's like-
I just choose to bike.
You're not on a bike, yeah. My dad fixed car. He's not an enthusiast, but he fixed cars mostly because he's like cheap, or it's just like that's what you do when something breaks. You fix it. People don't really do that these days.
No.
You don't really work on your own car, but he did, and so I, maybe when I was like 14, I was like holding the flashlight for him. And then I think I like read a book he had about like combustion engines or something, but it was really high school. We used to just like hang out in the parking lot and like
Make fun of people.
make fun of people or whatever, what we do now minus like 15 years or whatever. And yeah, it just kind of started from there. Like I was close to getting my license, and I guess for me, I initially, I don't really care anymore. Maybe I do, but initially I was really drawn to the mechanical complexity of cars, but they're not so complex you can't wrap your head around it. Like I don't really care about watches. Some people really like watches and old mechanical watches. I don't really get watches. I mean, I get why people like them, but I can't visualize it. Cars aren't that complicated. You can kind of like wrap your head around the way a motor works, and I don't know. When I was young, that was kind of neat to me. That's really early stuff, but yeah. Anyways.
John.
So I was always fascinated with jets growing up, the age of Top Gun and all that. And so I would always go to air shows with my dad and just was always fascinated with speed and just high, powerful equipment.
Strapping young man.
Yes. And so obviously I didn't actually want to become a pilot, A, because I'm too tall, and B, that's you have to join the military and all that stuff. So obviously, like Coin, around the age of 14, you just start thinking about a car, and that just kind of grabbed my interest. And then honestly, I mean, the movie Fast and Furious did influence me a lot, because out of all three of us in high school, I was the only one, who
John was the ricer.
Yes, I was the ricer. So I had the Honda Prelude, and I, lowered it and thought about getting the LED underlighting kit and went full blown that way.
And we made fun of him.
It's clear, yes. And
We
I
don't let that go to this.
no, but so that's what kind of got me into the car scene, and then from there, I actually got more interested in the mechanical side of it. Having to fix the Prelude or just install parts and stuff like that, and so that's just kind of what kept me going in that scene.
Yep. And me, it was kind of the same thing. Kind of got it from my dad, who I guess still is pretty into cars. And I guess when I was super young, I just kind of followed in his footsteps, and my brother was the same way. And And of course, once you get to that high school age and you're anxious to get your first car, and then it just kind of, took off from there. And I've been fortunate enough to sort of make a career out of, I always kind of knew that I wanted to do something related to cars, but I was pretty bad at mechanical stuff and still am. And obviously I'm not an excellent driver, but I kind of found a way to, work in the, I guess, media side of cars. And this is sort of an extension of that. It's in a way because my day job involves a lot of, writing and photography about cars. This is sort of a way to like cut loose and kind of, make fun of certain things and the lighter side of it, I guess. So.
We were also like, we were kind of into cars. We all got our first car. And then it was like, oh, car shows, cruising. Like there's a street in Fresno, Blackstone, and like everyone was like, it's such a boring town that like the thing.
It's kind of like a real life American graffiti.
Yeah,
sort of.
with a lot more like civics.
40
and
years
stuff.
later.
Yeah.
Or something.
But it was like we were just that was just kind of the thing to do. Like every Friday night, we'd go to like a local car show and like
sit around.
Sit around. We were like the kids on the corner that are yelling at people to do burnouts, but like before cell phones and stuff.
Before Hoonigan existed.
Before that stuff. And then Fast and the Furious came out, and we were just kind of like primed for that wave of like car enthusiasm. So
I guess we can probably like get into the whole history of it in another episode. Like starting off, because
that's true.
Yeah, we've actually been making videos for 18 years or something.
That's true. Yeah, let's come back to that. That's a whole thing. Okay, what were the other components of that question?
The process.
Do you think car culture, or do you think car cultures are too sensitive for something like Car Bros? Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not
in a way.
That's
it's just
tricky.
It's just odd that out of the entire car culture and car scene, we're really the only ones that do the humor and parody. Everything else is very serious and geared
I think
more
car
towards...
culture is like very tribal, and it's in a way it's like sports, where like if you're attached to this team or this type of thing, you have like very strong opinions, and sometimes you can't really look at the outside or take yourself not so seriously.
Yeah, I don't think it's like car cultures. What did he say? Too serious or too sensitive?
Too sensitive.
It's not car culture. It's just like culture in general right now doesn't respond well to being made fun of
sarcasm.
or whatever. Yeah, and it's like we've always just like teased people
Right.
or whatever. But like our real audience, I think, we're just really into cars, but we're not into
Very specific.
well, we're not into like using cars as an extension of our lifestyle or personality.
My car is myself.
But it's like, the whole like lowered culture. It's like I would never like who gives a shit? It's like I'm not into looking a certain way.
Right. Putting on a front.
Or putting on a front. And I think that's kind of what we're making fun of is people who have such like fragile egos / lack of identity that they need like, oh, I'm just into Hondas and that's my thing. Like it's a car. Like it's worse than sports.
Yeah.
There's not even people.
There's not even any exercise.
It's just like, so I don't know. I think it's not so much that they're too sensitive. Well, like in some cases they are, but like that's our fault. That's our fault. Like we'll let jokes slip there. It's like, fine. This is
I don't know.
like
It's probably not too
filter us.
sensitive. They're just, like I say, like tribal. Like
But I also think like our audience is going to be people who are similar to us, where it's just like they're into any kind of car,
Right.
and just talking about cars, but they're not into like.
I'm a Chevy truck man.
Or I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
what
they
I'm
are.
trying
I
to
don't
say.
know.
So I would say car culture is not current like social justice climate, whatever. It does make it a little tough to. I don't know. I would say no. I think the answer is no. That's on us.
A long-winded no.
Yeah, that's on us to like tune our product to reach more people.
Okay, and then what are the sources of inspiration for the videos, and could you describe the creative process?
it's mostly just you guys. You'll see something and just want to make fun of it.
I would say,
Yeah.
this is like, it's kind of a sad reality, but sources of inspiration are usually anger. Where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, look at this stupid thing.
I think,
let's
I think,
tear
I
this
think a lot
apart.
of it is like from shows that are on TV, not car shows, but it's various. I mean, South Park, or various other parody shows, but no one's really applied that format to cars, which is something that we're very familiar with and kind of always keeping up on. So I'd say the inspiration doesn't necessarily come from within cars; it comes from without, and then we just apply it to cars.
I would say, like, sense of humor wise, I think more than anything else, my sense of humor was shaped by Simpsons when I was young. Yeah. It's just like, that's been my brand of humor. Right. And then, like, where does the topics for Car Bros inspiration come from?
Right, or even, in pretty much anything Mike Judge.
Yeah, I think it's like when we, and this kind of bleeds into creative process, we usually bat ideas around. Like I said, we're 3 hours away from each other, so it's just this group chat with like 600 messages a day. And like every once in a while something will kind of have legs. Like when we did that Gymkhana video, it was like, man, I'm so fucking sick of these.
How pumped are
10
you
block
for the next?
Yeah, like
12 part 7.
Gymkhana 7.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
especially the
these
teaser
are
videos,
so
which is,
lame.
yeah.
Actually, he hasn't come out with one of those for a while.
Yeah, probably because
Yeah.
they're embarrassing. It's like, they're cool, whatever, they're cool. It's nothing against Ken Block, but it's just like, dude, these are so repetitive and dumb. And so it's like, well, what if we like made a video? And it'll start with like, wouldn't it be fun to make fun of this? Like one of the first ones was like, imagine if we made a video and like there's an RC car and it'll start with a joke and then it'll be like, oh, and this, and this, and this. And it was like, once it gets to the point where it's like, we've got 4, 5, 6 like strong jokes that will anchor a video, then it's like, let's make a video out of this and fill it in with like 20 other small ones. But it's usually like 4 that are like, I can't wait. This whole video is really just for this
to get
joke.
this one across.
I usually, for me, when we're either starting a video or like getting close to it, those anchor ones, like there've been a couple times where I've just like had an image. I mean, I have like woken myself up laughing at like a joke. That the 918 versus Enzo thing.
Yeah. I remember it.
I remember one night I was laying in bed and I thought of that graph of like the powertrain for the 918, and it's like the electric motor is like a gas powered thing. Like just, I mean, it's like that took me like a day to make, and it's like a 2-second joke.
I'm
and
sure everyone remembers it.
And I don't, and I don't think I've read a single comment that was like,
oh, that graph was funny.
It's funny. But it's stuff like that where it's like there'll be a few, there's a few anchor jokes going into them, and then like honestly on the fly, when we're shooting, a lot of it, it's like, oh no, you should do this instead, and then like that gets added in.
Yeah, we always like go into like, okay, we're gonna have all this stuff written down, and we try to go with that, and then it always ends up coming out quite a bit different than that.
Yeah, it's like the more we can plan, I've found the better, because if we modify it, that's good, but otherwise it's like we've literally just like
stood
I
around.
mean, it's like pretty much every video we've made. We're like halfway through it, and you're like, all right, how do we end this? Like,
that's something that it happens on every Hollywood movie.
Right? Yeah, right.
I'm
Okay,
sure.
we're like standing around, but I mean, some of them like Final Race.
That was like the cleanest, like the most.
What?
Like the most like non-improvised.
Oh, I was gonna say because like that. Well, it was like we started with. Wouldn't it be funny if it was like making fun?
Yeah,
of
I think like we came with it about like the strongest.
But like we were just watching Fast and the Furious, the race scene, right? Yeah. And they like jumped that train track, and it was like, dude, I bet we could make something like this. So then we added the train.
We were like trying to figure out how they did it and stuff.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how they did it, and so then we added the train scene, which added a ton to the video, but that wasn't planned initially.
Yeah, but that was like one of the only videos that we made where like this video is very very specifically doing this.
Yeah.
And then we came up with like a bunch of supporting.
Yeah, we had a good
gags, I guess.
vision
Right.
for it, but the jokes they weren't thought of until like the day before.
Right.
And that whole ending, really.
Yeah.
Was thought of.
It was like, oh, there's
it's like, oh,
ramp.
dude, I bet we can
Yeah.
CGI my face.
Real tasteful too.
When I made that, I remember at night, and sent it out, like, well, a lot of times, like, I'll edit the video and then just text it to the group. So it's pretty efficient to do it that way. I was crying.
Yes.
Laughing.
Yeah.
And then we added that, like,
I think I was at dinner like with my girlfriend, and I just got the still frame of your face on the, and I just literally like couldn't stop laughing for 5 minutes.
We've
and, like,
got something
yeah.
here. So that's when you know it's good. And I think your quote was like, sprinkle a little of this in there. It was that, like,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And that was just the ending. It's like, man, we could just upload this
Yeah.
and like be done.
The most offensive.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. So yeah, the creative process, and we're still toying with it. But it's pretty haphazard. It's pretty rough.
Well, we probably have like 10,000 ideas that we've like
That's
written
true,
down
too.
and have just kind of
Yeah, there's a
not
lot.
because they're bad, just because we're constantly
Yeah.
we're
Well,
not
that's
very,
the
we're
other
not
thing.
very
It's
good
like,
at,
well, think of one funny thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, how do you build a video around that? You know, I don't
that's
know.
why we've also like kicked around the idea of literally doing like 20-second videos.
Yeah, or I mean, honestly, like, if we had the time, we really should just be like releasing GIFs on Instagram. It's like, it's like, why are we writing a
Like I
script?
say, I don't know how many people are actually watching this, but like I say, we obviously welcome any feedback. You know.
Oh, that's
comments or
true too.
otherwise, So
Yeah, like, I
if
mean,
there's something you want to
probably
say,
not gonna like
or-
respond directly.
I mean,
Yeah.
we early on we were like, never break character. With the first video, it's like, wouldn't it be funny if we never engage the
never
audience?
acknowledge anyone.
Never.
That's the way to success.
Yes. Uh-huh.
In some ways, it's nice because you don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna break that, but if you guys, first of all, smash that like button.
Make sure you subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe, unsubscribe, and then subscribe.
Yeah, pump up our stats.
Uh-huh.
If you guys put questions in the comments, we'll probably, if we ever do this again, which we might, we've got the equipment.
When we get next year, when we do episode 2,
Yes. Yeah.
We'll probably, but I don't know. I mean, I read every comment.
well, the ones that we
In,
can't read.
in English.
Yeah, I translate.
Google
I
Translate.
probably. I read
What
them all.
is fake?
What? Yeah, fake. Fuck. But yeah, any input. I mean, I remember someone left a comment when we did Gimkhana, because the thumbnail originally was just like the Civic or something, and it was like the morning of. Any of the first like 500 views are like people who
The passion.
Yeah.
email alert set. It's like those.
Right.
That's always
They
a
didn't
good,
just stumble upon it.
Yeah, that's always a good test. Like we uploaded at 4 a.m. or whatever, so that it's 7 East Coast. And then yeah, like the first early views are always like, oh, these are the super fans.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, you should change that thumbnail, like spice it up
That's right.
or something. And it was like, yeah, that's good. That's good feedback. Like I definitely take some feedback.
Yes. We read them all. We don't respond.
We respond to 0, except one dude. Our only comment was "Rest in peace." Some guy called me out as T murder.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, that's a different story. Okay, did we fully answer that guy's question?
Yes.
Yes.
There's still 2 more.
All right, one more.
Next one.
Pick one to not address. Fuck that guy. No, I'm just.
All right. Okay. This is from Jeff Glucker over at Hooniverse. It says, "Can we get you to come on our podcast to talk about your podcast and the videos and whatever else as well?" So, sure, why not?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So
We've
Jeff,
had a few
get
people.
in touch with us.
We've had a few people reach out, and it's like, should we do this? And it kind of gets batted back and forth, and I don't think we've done any.
I think why the hell not?
But at this point, yeah, 3.5 years
We're
in,
desperate.
it's like,
Yeah.
we'll do anything.
It's time to change.
Yeah, I'm down to modify it a bit. So yeah, that'd be fine. Where is he located? You know?
I
thought
assume
it was
so.
like-
I assume SoCal.
I Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was in some like flyover.
Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, let us know.
No, I'm pretty sure it's SoCal.
Yeah, I'd do that. We'll travel or Skype or whatever.
Both.
Yeah. Both.
Skype.
Skype on the plane. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then last is from Chris Coyne.
Oh, good.
And it says, "This is with video?" Question mark.
Yes.
Is it going on live?
Yes.
Oh,
I like yes or no question.
You guys planning to do any more on location type videos?
What is on location?
I guess like SEMA, LA Auto Show.
Yeah, so we're planning on, it's not planned at all,
yeah.
but we have our tickets.
The tickets, yeah.
We have our press pass
Uh-huh.
to Monterey. What do you call
I guess
that?
just Monterey Car Week.
The whole
All the big shots.
the
Yeah.
biggest shots. So yeah, we're planning to do that.
Yeah, we'll have something.
We'll have something. We'll come up with something, probably on the spot. Probably be embarrassing to shoot as they usually are. But like I get emails about like it's time to register for SEMA. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going back to that. Nope.
We can do a whole episode on SEMA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beauty.
I wouldn't go back to SEMA unless we had a booth.
Oh yeah.
Then I'd way go back. We have fantasized about a Carbros booth at any nationally man, Carbros at like LA Auto Show, like something where we shouldn't have a booth.
Or we like buy out Chevy's spot.
Convince them that we're a manufacturer.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we do that stuff, but like selectively. It's not going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
here's the next auto show.
Right. Although we probably will go back to LA just because.
LA was
That
sweet.
was fun,
I don't know if we'll do another video, but
Well, we have to do the 2018.
oh, that's true.
awards.
Keep the
Carbros
awards
awards.
going.
Yeah.
Man, that might be worth it. JD Powers
Yeah.
start stealing their market share.
Write that down.
Yeah, I'll add that to the list.
And yeah, he just says, I think those are your best stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
Chris likes the,
He has commented in the past and said when you use the kind of random environment,
we're kind of reacting off
the
of
reacting and like bringing people in, that's your strongest
the
stuff.
awkward.
Yeah, which is fine. Like Blaze talking to people, like, what do you think of my ends? Like just that kind of stuff where it's like you get people's genuine reactions. I agree those are funny. Personally, I don't know if those are our funniest. For me, those are the most embarrassing
Yeah.
to shoot.
Well,
It's
I don't mind setting that
yeah,
on the camera.
I don't mind videoing you. Yeah, that
Safe
stuff, like
distance.
Blaze, like I can hardly watch that Blaze video sometimes. Like fucking rolling up to that car show.
Wait, that was you?
turning
like-
heads.
It's like, man,
I have fond memories of watching you do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mixed in the crowd.
that is crazy. It blows my mind that people like Sasha, whatever, Baron,
Oh, can just full on.
like see. It's like, man, you have to go to a happy place to pull that stuff off.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, we do that stuff, but opportunistically.
Yep.
It is good.
I haven't seen
makes,
the last of it.
it makes for a good show. Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, that wraps up the question. So thanks, guys.
That's cool. Yeah, thank you for.
And let's say, keep them coming.
Sure.
Wherever you may be listening to or watching this.
yeah. What's our timing like?
We're at 35,
35
including
minutes.
probably the couple minutes of rambling.
So probably
30. Yeah.
I feel like we should have a car topic. Before
Maybe.
we-
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing that people can give us. Like, do they want? I mean, assuming people are going to start listening to these,
Yeah.
do they
You
want
6 people, like, what do you want to hear?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
Carl and dude in like Oslo or whatever.
right? Yeah, I mean, whether they want to hear us specifically talk about car bros or
Yeah.
comedy, or they want us to talk about. I mean, we have opinions.
A mix. Yeah. Political. We get
Yeah.
real political.
Yeah. We could talk about economics.
Yeah. Inflation in Zimbabwe is a passion of mine.
We were just talking about that before we went on, before the mics went hot.
Okay, so one car thing. Well, God, these are all
Is Nissan on that list?
Nissan. Yeah, one of my notes is Nissan sucking. Verse.
I mean, I think
90s.
I think that's all you need to say.
Here's a
right?
topic that we've beaten
Yes.
into submission in our group chat is how pathetic Nissan is these days versus what they once were. Because every once in a while we'll see something that's like cool from the early 90s, like, oh man, I really want like an R32 GTR. Like you start like looking down that, and then you start thinking, it's like, fuck, like Nissan in 89, 90,
top of their game.
Like every motor they made
Was impressive.
was badass.
Yep.
SR20, RB26, the VG30, the twin cam VG30,
Yep.
the Q45
Yeah,
V8
yeah.
is like fucking killer. And then even the non-performance V6, the VG, just like in the
Right.
Maxima.
It was fine. Even and the non-turbo SR20.
And then all the stuff we didn't get,
Yeah.
right? The like 4 cylinders, the like CA 18
Yeah.
and stuff.
FJ
which are
20.
FJ, like they're like every motor they made. I'm sure, I mean, whatever, there are probably some stupid ones in there, single cam 4 cylinders,
Yeah.
but it's like every motor is badass. Wide range of just super dope cars.
Yep.
Sentra SER was awesome. The Maxima was sweet.
Yep.
The Skyline is like groundbreaking. The Z, which, you know, you can debate how those have aged. C32.
Yeah.
But at the time,
Still looks cool.
like world class.
Yep.
Q45 I thought was awesome. Most people don't give a shit
No,
about
it's cool.
the first Q45. I think is super sweet because like the Japanese in the late 80s were trying to figure out.
Well, they also had shit tons of money at the time.
Did they?
They're well, I mean, like
That was
late-
like the
late-
gas thing, right?
late 80s is like their bubble. That was like when they were just fucking dripping with money.
In the Japanese economy? Well, it's
Yeah.
like, so they were trying, all the Japanese
It
were-
burst like, you know, around 89, 90, something, but like probably, you know, the couple years before that is
Leading
when
up
they were
to it?
developing all that
Okay.
crazy shit.
because they were trying to break into the American luxury market.
Yeah.
That's when you get Lexus, Infiniti, and Acura.
Yep.
Really. And the only one who really did anything worth a shit is Lexus.
Yeah.
But at the time, I'm sure they were all competitive. I'm sure it wasn't like, it has aged and you look back and go like, yeah, the LS400 was crazy.
Yeah.
But the Q45 to me, like when you look at like that was their first attempt,
Yeah.
it's like it's so overpowered.
Yeah.
It's like the 0 to 60 on that thing, I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think it was like high 6s
Yep.
or something. I mean, it was like
250 horsepower.
it was something ridiculous. Where it's just like, why would anyone want a luxury car this fast?
Blow your face.
It was like so stupid. I'm sure I want to own one of those for like a week and just floor it everywhere. Sad rear suspension just bottoming out.
I can't remember the last time I've seen one of those just driving.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean
they've
they.
literally disappeared.
I'm sure they have because they probably weren't that reliable.
I don't even see like the newer. I don't even see like
Q45.
I don't
Yeah.
any.
yeah, even like
Q45.
an 04 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like whatever the last one is.
None of them are like worth owning.
Yeah.
Really. Like I want an
Unless
LS.
you're really dedicated.
Like I almost want any generation LS. The new ones are kind of weird,
Yeah.
but like I'd take an old one. Q45, like it's like I don't really. I'm not going there. But I like their first try. Like, what do Americans want in
Yeah.
luxury? It's like a V8,
Yeah.
like high revving.
Kind of looks like a Jag. Or something.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, good try. Acura kind of shit the bed a little bit by not putting a V8. If Acura had started with a V8, I feel like they'd be a cooler company.
I think like the only stuff that was like really successful was their like intake. I mean, just like
Yeah, they're
super
smaller.
affordable.
Yeah,
Like fancied up Civic.
Toyota can make a V8. Like,
Yeah.
that is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And that LS motor, I remember reading they invested like $1 billion
Yep.
developing that motor,
Yeah.
or something. And it's like
they did not fuck around.
they did not fuck around with that car.
No.
And they have. I mean, it's like you can find them with.
And you still
$500,000.
you still see them driving like
Yeah.
pretty regularly.
Yeah, those things were built to. That was a different time. Anyways, Nissan coming from that of just like, man, killing it
Yeah.
every vehicle to now I was at.
I mean, I guess you could sort of make that argument about most of the Japanese companies, just because how much the
Yeah.
industry has changed. But Nissan in particular has gone from like the top to like.
But
a
like nobody
shell.
likes Nissan now. Like
Yeah.
you could say like, yeah, Honda's not as cool as they were,
Yeah.
but like they've certainly adapted.
And
They're just different.
They've taken the right steps.
Yeah, they've taken whatever necessary steps.
Yeah.
They're a world class manufacturer
Yeah.
now, and they had to adjust. But Nissan is just like, what?
Yeah.
Who are you
I think their
catering
whole thing
to?
is just based on affordability. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not even like great affordability. Just
They build
literally
their
they're cheap.
cars to a budget in a way that others just either don't bother or
Yeah.
can't. I mean, I'm sure it's impressive by some metrics,
Like-
but like.
yeah. Like, didn't we say like the Leaf is literally the most
Yeah,
impressive?
we were trying to talk about like what if someone puts a gun to your head and tells you you have to have a new Nissan, you're forced to have a new Nissan, and it can't be the GTR, which
Yeah,
is
that's
like
kind of-
off limits. We were like, I think the Leaf.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the
It's their
Leaf is
single
their
most
coolest
competitive
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Jamba Juice before this, and there was this girl in there. I was like, kind of cute. I was like, ooh, yeah. And she left, and she got in an Ultima. I was like,
Nope.
"Ugh." Like, nope. There goes that fantasy.
That's how Mike judges his win.
Yeah, that's the ultimate judgment. Like, ooh. But yeah, it's like they're just God. Every time I see something new from them on the road, like the Rogue or whatever, it's just like
The kick.
the most lackluster design. Their corporate front is just so sad. Their cars all drive the same. Whatever. We frequently
and their most in recent memory, like their two most interesting vehicles, like the Quest minivan, which was like at least
Yeah.
like unique.
was it?
I think it was.
Yeah,
liked
I
it.
don't know anything about it.
And the Cube, which is like sort of funky and
Yeah, the Cube
you
was
know,
at least different.
and practical, and they're like, nope.
Well, I mean,
these didn't.
They
sell.
just copied an XB though, right? The
Did
Cube.
they?
I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's
but I
a
mean,
similar type.
it was
of
at least
vehicle.
different.
Like
But I
the
mean,
XB was first.
But I mean, the XB was an interesting car.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least they
they
tried.
both came out around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because I thought I remember hearing something like Nissan's going to come up with like 100 models, and we're really
100
going to try to
100 different
cater to
SUVs.
like quirky or something. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
they-
because they have the Juke and then
and
the
they
kick.
did. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Juke, but it's like, well,
But I never see those cars.
could you come out with one that like is
Doesn't-
good? Yeah, here's an idea for a car.
Yep.
We're
Like,
gonna come
the-
out with
the worst
100
thing is-
dumb-looking designs.
Is my girlfriend has a Versa.
Oh, that's
well,
right.
And
Well, we'll see you guys. Next
yeah,
That's all.
and the few times I've driven it, you know, it's the yeah. Obviously,
Hold on,
I
hold on,
didn't
hold on.
I didn't know she had a
Remember-
Versa when we started dating.
Remember, like
It wasn't a deal
3
breaker.
minutes ago
Yeah.
when Coin just said,
Said he would
like,
never. Yeah, and the Ultima is at least
the
a couple
Ultima's like
steps
4 or
higher
5 steps.
higher than the Versa. Yeah. But the worst thing is the motor is so underpowered, but then they put the CVT transmission on it, and it just
Two negatives.
yeah, it
They
literally
don't cancel
sounds
each other.
like the engine's just revving at max RPMs all the time. That just trying to go anywhere.
It's so funny when you like a car is such a piece of shit. You're like mad at it.
Yeah.
For being. Like, who made this? Why is this a thing? Fuck. Oh man.
How do you allow her to still drive a Versa?
Well, I'm not.
Bro, come on. put
When it
some-
comes time for her to trade it in, I will talk her out of Nissan.
Yeah, she has a Versa.
Maybe-
Yeah. John has an SRT Grand Cherokee.
It's a common garage. You see it.
and a Subaru STI.
Yeah, all the neighbors are
No,
jealous.
you drive the Versa.
Yeah. The sad thing is, yeah, I mean, the Versa's in the garage and the STI is outside.
That's right. You gotta keep that.
Yep.
Gotta keep that paint fresh. Okay. Sponsors.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Taco Bell.
Yeah.
This is brought to you by
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Have you ever wondered about a thing?
Yes.
Have you ever had a quest for knowledge? Wikipedia.
Or have you ever read something on the internet and then you wanted to change what that said?
Have you ever had to write a paper at the last minute?
Have you ever wanted to know the final verdict on anything?
Yeah.
100% correct information about anything.
Have you ever wanted
Verified.
to sound knowledgeable about something that you don't know anything about? Wikipedia.org.
.org.
Check them out. I'd say this is good for
Yeah.
a first
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've.
40 minutes. If you've made it to this point,
You are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
we know we know who our audience is. That's 6 of you. Okay, cool. We're probably gonna record one more of these.
Yeah, we'll
so-
probably do like 12
Yeah.
to 15 more, and then
Yeah.
we'll take a break.
Okay.
Until Netflix picks us up.
Yeah.
Well, until next time.
Yep.
Thanks
Thanks
you
for
for
listening.
hanging out with us.
Peace.
And see ya.
Outro song.